Before I was a real estate agent, I watched the industry kind of fail my parents, and I couldn't do a single thing about it. I wasn't licensed yet, but I knew something felt off about their story. The frustration of watching someone you love getting handled, essentially, instead of helped. And that's what helped me shape every decision I've made in this business. Today, I'm going to tell you what I've seen in the industry, what it cost me to do things differently, and why I would still make those choices all over again, even the ones that hurt. My parents were searching for a home, and they trusted the process the way that most people do, because why wouldn't you? You hire a professional, you assume that they're working for you, and you assume that they're always telling the truth. But something felt off. They shared their experience with me, and I could hear it. The empty promises, the not following up. Some of these promises were a little bit too smooth. Some of the answers were a little too easy. The feeling that someone was managing them instead of representing them. The fact that they were being managed kind of almost led to make a decision rather than being guided towards one that they wanted to make on their own. And I was standing outside the industry with absolutely no license, no power, and no ability to intervene. That someone could be doing this better. That somebody eventually became me, but not before I got inside the industry and got to see how things really operate myself. I had to get down to how deep this went. So here's what most agents will not say out loud. There is a version of this industry that is out just to get the signature. Not getting you the right home, not getting you the right deal, getting the signature. I've watched agents overpromise things that they could not deliver on price, on timelines, on what a process was actually going to look like, just to get a client to commit to them. And buyers unfortunately believe them because you are trusting someone with one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. Of course you believe them. And I had to decide very early on in my career, what kind of agent was I going to be? Was I going to play the game the way that it's already being played? Or was I going to do it the way that it should have been done for my parents? With honesty, even when honesty was the harder point to sell. And in some situations, I chose honesty and it cost me. I met a couple that was wanting to sell their home. And I told them the truth. If you want real market data, real buyer interest, real activity that reflects what the market's actually doing and what the value of your home is, you need to go to the market with intention, not as a test, not to see what happens, with a strategy and a purpose. And another agent told them something different. They said, let's just try it. A trial run. Let's see what the market says. Now listen, I understand. That actually sounds appealing. It sounds like it's low stakes, right? It sounds flexible. But here's what that agent did not tell them. When you test the market without intention, you're not getting real data. You're getting curiosity. You're getting people who are just browsing, not buying. And when you eventually decide to list seriously, buyers are going to see that history. They see the days on market. They see where the home's at, and they wonder, what's wrong with it? So that couple went with the other agent. And I'll be honest with you, it sucked because I knew what I told them was right, but I also knew that I had lost the business. I refused to tell someone just what they wanted to hear. I'm gonna always tell you what you need to hear. But if you ask me today, would I do it differently? I'm gonna say no. I told them what they needed to hear, and I'm gonna stick by that every single time. Because my process may not be perfect, but it is perfect. And what that means is it's always built on truth. Now let me tell you about the other side of this, when you're doing things the right way. So I had a buyer, they went to a lender, and that lender told them that they did not qualify for this certain program. Just like that. Door was closed, their dream was paused. But something felt off to me about that conversation. I've been paying attention to the client and their situation. I understood the type of job that they had, which it wasn't traditional. And the math wasn't mathing. What the lender was saying versus what I knew from the client, these two things just weren't clicking. So I did what I always do when something feels off. I said something. I advocated for them, and I even encouraged them to speak with other lenders. Not one, multiple. Because one opinion, especially when it's wrong, should never close the door on someone's future. And you know what? They did talk to multiple lenders, and they closed in 2 weeks. At the closing table, keys in hand, no looking back. This is what happened when someone works in your corner and they refuse to go with the first answer that they're given. And that's what I'm here for. So here's the tension I carry with me every single day in this business. There are things that I know that I can't always say. There are ethics rules that I operate with as a licensed agent in Florida, and that can limit what I can say directly about certain topics. And sometimes it can be frustrating for me and for my clients. because they'll ask me things that I can't give you an answer to. But what I can do, and what I will always do, is point you in the right direction and get you the best resources. I'm going to give you the tools so you can find the truth for yourself. I'm going to redirect you to the right resources. I'm going to advocate for you when the system is not working in your favor. And I'm going to refuse to tell you that something is fine when it's not. Even if it costs me the deal, guys. Because I watched the industry handle my parents. And I made a promise to myself that anyone who works with me is not going to feel that way. Not on my watch. So if you're buying or selling your home in Central Florida, near Disney in the suburbs, in new construction, and you want someone who's gonna tell you the truth, even when it's not the easy thing to say, I wanna hear from you. The link is in the description of this video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because next time we're talking about what the heck is the Pearlfect process, what the home buying journey actually looks like, and why, if you're feeling any discomfort right now about home buying, that's just a part of the journey. It's the beginning. See you later, guys. I'm Dawn Reese McKinney with the Funk Collection, broker by eXp Realty. If you made it to the end of the video, awesome. So happy that you joined me. But make sure you find time to like and subscribe the video and share it with a friend. I look forward to connecting and possibly even helping you relocate to Central Florida.